Teacher of the Year. Talking with her this morning, she said, I have big shoes to fill. And I said to her, I said, no, you don't, because I can't do what you do. I enjoy working with the computer geeks and the science kids and the robots, but don't ever put me in elementary school. That is a breed of existence that is not for me. So before we call her up on stage, I'd just like to share a few comments that came through from her nominations. And this will add to her incredible job and her way of dealing with elementary school students. She was described in multiple nominations as a teacher that always goes above and beyond. Another nomination said her caring, her compassion, her creativity helps her to meet the needs of all of her students, academically, socially, and emotionally. One parent said her superpower is connecting with her students and building strong, unforgettable relationships that never end. My favorite quote was, she has the patience of an angel and the energy of the Energizer Bunny, which I think you need at an elementary level. Please help me welcome to the stage the 2023 Monroe Teacher of the Year, Lisa Martinsky.
President Kellogg, Senator Moore, Representative Scott, Board of Education members, administrators, teachers, counselors, paraprofessionals. Most of you know me as Lisa Martinsky, a second grade teacher at Stepney Elementary School. Some may know me as the parent of Anna, Robert, Celeste, and Claire, and some as a friend, a colleague, and even a cancer survivor. In my second grade classroom, room 13, my students know me as Miss Martinsky, sometimes Mom, and yes, even Grandma once in a while, thinking my hair has something to do with that. I am honored to be speaking with you today as we begin a brand new promising school year. When I learned that I was nominated for the Monroe Teacher of the Year, that I had actually won the award, I felt many emotions. Totally shocked, extreme pride, tears of joy, and heartfelt gratitude. This is not something I would have ever dreamed possible, certainly not something that I ever thought possible in my life. The Teacher of the Year award has given me pause and evoked memories from my past, a recollection of my arduous journey in school to becoming a teacher, as well as the vivid faces of children over many years that are woven into a beautiful tapestry, a backdrop in my mind. Reflecting upon ourselves, our lives, our histories, our stories, isn't something that comes naturally to educators, or maybe not to anyone. It isn't something that we typically take time for, and it's certainly not something we prioritize in our busy lives. But this honor has provided me just that, the gift of reflecting upon my personal story, my difficult journey through school, to becoming a teacher, to landing my first job as a third grade teacher, and eventually to 34 years in education, where I nurtured my love of elementary school teaching, and finally, to this moment, here today, with all of you. Rita Pearson, a renowned public speaker and anti-poverty advocate, understood and insisted that teachers build stronger relationships with children. She is well known for her impassioned TED Talk, where she declares, "Every child needs a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be." Rita Pearson's sentiment resonates deeply with me as a person and as an educator. It calls to mind my roots and upbringing. It is an inspiration to me as I build relationships and connections with students so that our trust becomes foundational to our working partnership. As a child, school was, not at all easy for me. In fact, it was hard, really hard. I can remember many tearful afternoons and nights struggling through my homework, feeling overwhelmed, discouraged, and anxious that I couldn't do what seemed to come easily to my classmates and siblings who were outside playing, having finished their homework hours earlier. I had unruly hair, buck teeth, and glasses, and was made fun of on the playground where I chose to play it by myself. I was called Four Eyes, Owl Eyes, Stupid, and Klutz. I remember a time when I was 7 years old and life seemed so difficult that I packed my tiny suitcase and ran away from home. I didn't go very far. I hid under the hedges in our backyard, and I cried for a long, long time until my sister Mary found me. It was actually great being from a large family because I had built-in friends. I could blend in. I had protectors on the school bus. But that couldn't make up for the way I felt inside each time I walked into the classroom alone. When I think of Rita's quote, I think of me. I was that child growing up, the child who needed a champion, someone who insisted that I be the best that I could possibly be. And by the grace of God, I was fortunate to have that caring adult in my life, that one champion for me. And that champion was actually a teacher, a caring, giving, selfless teacher who believed in me. It wasn't something she received credit for because she devoted her life to raising 9 children. Being the mother of 9 is what she was known for. But what I know is that she was much more than that because my mom, Elizabeth, who I am proud to be named after, was and will always be my champion. She dedicated her life to all her children, but she dedicated her nights to sitting with me, helping me, encouraging me, and ultimately inspiring me to embrace my life's journey as an educator. I have lots of family photos hanging in my house, but I have this one special picture of my mom sitting at my end table. She is standing in her cap and gown with a diploma from the College of New Rochelle, a degree in psychology with a certification in elementary education. I also have another photo standing beside hers. It is of me in my cap and gown on the day I graduated from the College of New Rochelle with a degree in psychology and a certification in both special ed and elementary ed. Until June of this year, I hadn't thought much about my school days, or my mom, my champion, or what intrinsically motivates me in my role as an educator now. But the Teacher of the Year process compelled me to peel back the many layers of my role as an educator today and examine what continues to stoke the fire inside of me, what at my very core inspires me to teach at a time when our profession has become so challenging, when days can be grueling, exhausting, demanding, and never-ending. I took a long pause and asked myself, what at my very core is my ultimate goal for my students when I walk into the classroom every single day? Beyond the ever-changing superhero capes and caps that we wear as instructors, helpers, paraprofessionals, counselors, leaders, first responders, cheerleaders, custodians, coaches, and mentors. Beyond COVID protocols, hybrid learning, lesson planning, parent meetings, curriculum planning, field trips, committee work, SRBI, Common Core, SEL, and new safety plans. And beyond the nuts and bolts and duties and emails and all the many details that we encounter on any given day, What in the end is my goal when I walk into room 13 every morning? As I peered into the core of my heart, what I found was actually quite simple. I found that ultimately, my goal for my students is simply to be there for them, each one of them. To be present in the moment and by their sides. To connect with them, laugh with them, and have fun with them. To encourage them when they feel defeated and help them when they struggle. To be their voice when they can't find the words, and their song when their praises must be sung. To stretch them and challenge them and inspire them to be the best that they can be. But most of all, to simply believe in every single one of them, like my mom believed in me. To be their champion, the trusting adult who will never give up on them, no matter what. As we begin this new year, I encourage you to take some time, any amount of time that you can find, to reflect upon your beginning, your story. You might enter the classroom for the very first time in just 3 days. You might have started your career as an educator 20 or 30 years ago. Or you might have shifted into education later in life after entering into a first career. No matter when, I encourage you to stop and think about what inspired you. What spoke to you or called you to enter into the most valuable and rewarding profession of all? Was it someone you had the fortune of knowing? An event or a story about someone you love? Was it a teacher or a parent or a grandparent? Or perhaps a child? Look back upon your school days and ask yourself, what meant the most to me about school? What were my greatest takeaways, my best memories? And what maybe wasn't so fun? What was difficult? What would I have changed if I could? Your treasured memories are the ones to embrace with your students on the very first day you walk into the classroom. On the days that are very challenging, on the days without student support. Each day we create memories for our students that they too will remember when they reach our age. So ask yourselves, when all is said and done, what is my ultimate goal for my students in the 2022-2023 school year? Each and every single one of you are champions for your students. What that looks like or feels like is different for each of us. For some students, you may be the one and only person that they trust or that they can turn to. You could very well be their everything. And more often than not, you may not even realize it. That's quite a responsibility, an honorable reason to get up in the morning and head to school day after day after day. Let's begin this year together, building a brighter future for every single student by choosing to stand up and be their champion. In your many capes and caps, with the help of one another, let's make this a spectacular year. You, my colleagues, are Monroe's greatest. Go be awesome.
That's a tough act to follow, that speech. That was amazing to see that and hear that journey that you went through. Very inspiring. I know I'm going to leave today and have a kick-ass work week this week, so I'm ready to get motivated, so thank you. So I get to do the fun stuff. I get to do a fun citation here, proclamation to you. No heartfelt speech, but I get to do the fun stuff, so this is the good part. So on behalf of the General Assembly of Connecticut, and on behalf of myself, Senator Marilyn Moore, and Senator Kevin Kelly, be it here known to that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Lisa Martinsky in recognition of being named the Monroe Teacher of the Year. Your unwavering dedication to the education of Connecticut's youth has been one of the highest value to many. You embrace every challenge and opportunity thrown your way, and the students and colleagues truly benefit from it. You have set a high standard for teachers in Connecticut to follow, and hopefully, many will continue to follow it in the future. We have many other amazing teachers here. I hope those 27 new teachers rely on that, the wealth of knowledge and superiority of teaching here. Please take advantage of those minds and build your own path, because it's going to be a great community that you're part of, but also it's a great family here. So thank you and congratulations.